visitors from outer space crash land without warning and can lie buried for thousands of years.
Oh my God!
Geoff Notkin and Steve Arnold live to unearth these space rocks.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Their quest is part science
4.56 billion years ago.
and part treasure hunt.
You found one? Yeah!
They're the Meteorite Men.
This is great!
On this adventure, the guys head to the Great White North, Canada, for two very different hunts.
Woo!
After a fireball is caught on tape,
Big explosion and it's all over.
Geoff and Steve head to the site to hunt space rocks worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
These meteorites are like lumps of gold.
Then, science separates the forest from the trees,
And that just virtually strips away all the vegetation.
revealing a new crater and virgin hunting grounds.
You found one already?
But these rare meteorites come at a price.
Oh, no!
Here in Canada, it's about 50 degrees colder than we expected.
The forecast said it was going to be warm, and we needed to get up here before the snow came, and the snow beat us here.
There's no two ways about it. I've lost my mind completely.
Geoff Notkin and Steve Arnold are in the prairie lands of Saskatchewan, Canada, to hunt for pieces of a rare meteorite.
This is great!
The guys know there are space rocks here because this fall is one of only a handful to be caught on tape.
Those fireball videos just blow my mind.
Just after sunset on November 20th, 2008, a vast stretch of Canada is lit up by a fireball 5 times brighter than a full moon.
There was a police video that captured this thing coming in, and it was pretty phenomenal.
This thing tears through our atmosphere from space, explodes right in front of the car, and they get this drop-dead fantastic video.
The space rock, about the size of a desk weighing 10 tons, hits the atmosphere faster than 31,000 miles per hour.
When you see one of those videos, you go, oh my God, they travel really fast. I know in the intellectual part of my brain that meteors hit the atmosphere at many, many thousands of miles an hour, but that's just a number. When you see that video, and it only lasts about a second from infinity to here, big explosion and it's all over.
Scientists immediately collect the amazing videos, map the locations they were shot from, and triangulate the landing zone of the fireball. The data points to a big target in western Saskatchewan, but now they have to find the bullseye. Meteorite hounds, academics, and the curious scour the Canadian prairie. 1 week later, 180 miles east of Edmonton, a discovery.
It wasn't a big lake. Spotted something black out there on the ice, and the first one was found.
We have the very first piece of the meteorite that was recovered from the fireball last Thursday.
People think meteorites, when they come in, they're on fire, thanks to Hollywood. It's far more dramatic if you have a fireball coming in and it hits the ground and it blows up buildings. Nothing could be further from the truth. The thing burns out miles up in the air. You see from the fireball video, it's only a second or two of a fire, just enough to toast the outside of the rock. And then it's got a minute or 2 or 3 or 4 minutes of free fall. In November in Canada, it's, you know, and it hits a frozen lake. It's a cold rock hitting a cold lake.
The meteorite fall is named after the area where the pieces are found, Buzzard Coulee. The largest piece recovered is this monster, weighing in at 13 kilograms, nearly 29 pounds. To buy a space rock of this size, a private collector would have to shell out about $400,000.
Effectively, these meteorites are like lumps of gold, the same kind of value.
The Buzzard Coulee meteorite is an H4 chondrite, so it's a meteorite that contains chondrules, which were the first materials to form in the solar nebula. They're usually millimeter size. They're quite small to a fraction of a millimeter.
If we were to cut open one of those stones, we'd see those little chondrules in there that are older than Earth, older than the solar system. It kind of makes you feel small.
A $400,000 space rock gets everyone's attention. The guys hear about the meteorite frenzy going on up in Canada while on another expedition.
It was a real big deal. Big deal in Canada, big deal worldwide, definitely a big deal in the meteorite world.
Amateur meteorite hunters recover about 110 pounds of specimens in a week, and there's no end in sight.
Buzzard Coulee, the locals were really into it. They were very interested. It was absolutely great.
But winter is fast approaching, and when the harsh weather blows in, the hunters get blown out.
You just can't hunt for meteorites in the snow, not these little stones. And we can't hunt when the crops are there. The farmers won't let us on their land, understandably. So we had a very narrow window during which we could hunt.
Nearly a year after the fireball lit up the sky, Steve and Geoff finally arrive at search location number 1, a cold and snowy location number 1.
We should call it the snowfield, not the strewn field.
It is.
The Buzzard Coulee meteorites found so far outline a strewn field, the area where the meteorites fell, about 6 miles long and 2 miles wide. Location number 1 is right in the heart of it.
My concern is that we're looking for small stone meteorites in the snow, in stubble.
Yeah, my concern is we're gonna freeze.
Well, that's a given.
Well, let's get going. We're burning daylight.
You sure you want to do this?
You know how long I've been waiting to get up here? And a little frostbite isn't gonna stop me. Okay, see you later.
Hey, I'm not ready yet.
Something about Stevie's very speedy, really anxious to get out in the field.
Be looking for a little, just a ping. Very distinct.
The meteorites that we're looking for in this section of the strewn field are quite small. I would say
Sounds like junk.
marble-sized.
Farm junk.
A little bit bigger if we're lucky. With the snow on the ground, there's not much chance of seeing them.
Got the first meteor wrong!
So he's yelling at me already about something he hasn't found.
I don't even know what that is.
I'm gonna wear headphones connected to the detector. I can hear a fainter signal, and also they block out the sound of Steve yelling at me every time he finds something that's not a meteorite, so I've got a double purpose there.
Buzzard Coulee meteorites are classified as stone, but they contain some iron.
Ooh,
The guys use high-tech metal detectors
it could be a big one.
and a low-tech metal stick, re-engineered for meteorite hunting.
Stick a rare earth magnet, duct tape it to the end of it, and rare earth magnet's gonna be probably 10 times stronger than your refrigerator magnet. Strong enough that it's gonna pick up a meteorite that's got any iron in it. This reaches down, if it picks it up, that's pretty conclusive for a field test.
The treasured meteorites are black, but so are some earth rocks, and the magnet test is not infallible.
This is so wrong. Look at this. It's a little piece of granite. It's got enough iron in there that it sticks to the magnet. It makes your heart jump. And then it's just this stupid cosmic joke. You have to have a real positive attitude. It's almost like losing your keys. You know you lost them in the yard, and you're looking for them. We knew they were there. We were looking for them. We're expecting it. Oh, man. There have got to be pieces. Might be able to see them. Might be able to see them.
Just because we encounter adversity when we're in the field doesn't mean we're going to stop. This is a crazy, difficult, challenging, weird, and sometimes frightening business to be in.
Location number 1 turns out to be a bust, but the guys have heard about big meteorites found nearby. Before they can hunt this new area, they need permission from the owner of the farmland.
Hi, big doggy.
The good news is the farmer is a collector too.
I'll show you the bigger one.
Look at that.
The hired man actually found it.
And he works.
Yeah,
he works on the land
yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
It's like a Star Trek emblem.
Well, congratulations. That's a beautiful stone and quite valuable.
And the value is what?
Couple thousand?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
At least. We'd like to ask permission to walk the property from you, if that's okay.
that's
see
fine.
if we're able to locate anything.
Well,
Thanks a lot.
Location number 2 is within spitting distance of the small lake where the first meteorite was found.
The famous lake.
This is it. The fireball would have come right over here, and boom, that's where the very first pieces were found on the frozen lake. It's
Well,
just,
I have a theory that
good.
if we're moving, we're gonna stay warmer.
I like that.
So come on,
I
Geoff.
can work with that.
Sometimes it doesn't hurt to get a little lucky.
It's more buried trash.
I think I got one. Yeah! Oh, he's too far away. Oh, man. Look at this. Wow. So this is my first buzzard. Oh, that's so cute. This is probably gonna be worth $20 or $30 a gram. So $200 to $300. This is cool. This is so cool. Makes the whole trip worth it.
With Steve's first meteorite in the bag, Geoff's competitive spirit kicks in. But so far, there's a whole lot of cold and just one small meteorite.
Oh, this is hard going in here.
Ah!
Oh, that's so mean. I thought it was the real thing because it looks so black on the outside, but it's an earth rock. It's not magnetic enough. Damn it.
I'm a little worried about Geoff.
It's bloody ridiculous. We just don't really have much chance of finding tiny black rocks mixed in with snow and all of this damn whatever it is. Not that I'm annoyed or anything.
Just as Geoff hits a wall, Steve's perseverance pays off.
There's one. Okay, cool. This is like maybe about 15 grams, 16 grams. Not a completely crusted one. What we'll call one that it's 100% crusted means that the entire surface has a burnt fusion crust, like crust on a loaf of bread. So $20, $30 a gram, you know, this is like $300 maybe. So hey, haven't paid for the airplane ticket yet, but we're getting there.
With 2 Buzzard Coulee finds, Steve now has about $500 worth of meteorites in his pocket. Geoff is cold and on a cold streak.
I might as well just randomly try and throw my magnet cane and harpoon meteorites for all the good it's doing.
I've been through this process many times, that I hunt and I don't find anything and I get increasingly irritable and frustrated and occasionally even take it out on Steve.
How can there not be anything here? It doesn't make any sense.
They're here. Just have to find them.
Oh, thank you. Gee, if only I'd thought of that. I'm so stupid. I hate it here.
Not that I'm angry or anything.
It's very expensive to mount these expeditions. It's tiring, it's frustrating. But I think you have to be slightly mad to do it.
No, this is crazy. Damn it.
Just when he's about to cash it in, Geoff gets the break he needs.
Ah! That's it.
Excellent. That is definitely the real thing. A real meteorite. And it's oriented as well. That means that it acquired a shape reminiscent of a shield. When it traveled through the Earth's atmosphere, the front of it melted, leaving a rounded front and a flat back. Oriented meteorites are quite rare, and that is a feature that we only see in space rocks. It's only little, but it's really cool.
Find number 3, weighing just under 28 grams. Geoff's meteorite is worth a cool $1,000.
We get the chance to see one of these fireball videos and then go and find the rock. And you hold the rock and you look at the video and you go, oh my God, this comes from that. It's an encounter with existence outside of our own world.
No doubt that that is the real thing.
Whew. And my hand's so cold after 1 minute without the glove.
Up here in Canada, finding the space rocks is just half the battle.
We can't just take these home. We'd love to.
Meteorites are the cultural property of the Canadian government, and that just adds to the guys' frustrations.
It's made very clear to us that we're allowed to keep what we find, but we're not allowed to take it out of the country without an export permit. So we have to play the game. We have to respect the rules, the way they're set in this country where we're guests.
Steve and Geoff continue their frigid hunt.
This is brutal out here.
The weather is dangerously cold and getting colder.
The only way to keep warm is to keep moving.
It really annoys me when these earth rocks stick to the magnet.
I know.
The tough decision to continue the hunt despite the cold and red tape turns out to be a wise one. Just a short distance from find number 3.
You want to see something cool?
Geoff spots a rock that stands out.
Look at that right there. See how that's bluish black and red compared to everything else around here? Now watch this. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Wow. So perseverance pays off sometimes, even in the most adverse conditions. It's horrible out here. My brain is beginning to freeze.
Even after a 4th find, Geoff realizes discretion is the better part of valor. It's time to retreat.
It was just so cold. It wasn't a question of it's uncomfortable, we shouldn't really do it. It was just dangerous.
It must be 12 degrees, and we're out here hunting for these rocks with magnets on the ends of sticks. We're just completely mad.
Come on, get in the truck. I'm out of here.
Day 1, the guys found 4 beautiful pieces, alien visitors that dropped in on Canada, worth upwards of $1,500. Day 2, the guys wake up to even colder temperatures.
This expedition to Buzzard was easily the coldest weather in which I have ever hunted for meteorites, or possibly ever done anything at all.
I'm not one to normally complain, but it's biting cold.
Freezing or not, they have to hunt now, because in the spring, the crops will be planted and the fields will be off limits.
There's a nasty-looking snowfront moving in as well, I think.
For the second day, the guys are back at location number 2. They've moved to a neighboring wheat field they think hasn't been picked over yet.
Talking with some of the neighbors, it's like they've been found on all around us.
Their hunch pays off.
Woo! Steve! Oh, yeah. We were right to check out this field. It's a beautiful fusion-crusted stone, really well preserved, nice black crust. Nice.
I found one! Geoff!
You found one?
I found one!
Excellent. That's 2 in 10 minutes. This is what we want.
No question about it.
How big is it?
10 grams.
Cool. Yeah, that's about the size of this one. Oh, nice. Oh, that's really nice. Let's see if we can pull out a few more.
Just as quickly as it pays off, location number 2 dries up. Geoff and Steve need a fresh lead. Good intel can be worth its weight in meteorites, so the guys head to the southern end of the strewn field to share secrets with Jim and Loretta Mitchell.
Hello, how are you guys?
Cold, it's cold.
The Mitchells may be able to point the guys to some hefty space rocks.
And here's my little CD there. I think it's 55 grams.
That's not little.
Loretta's most valuable Buzzard Coulee find is this 423-gram beauty. At almost a pound, it's worth about $10,000.
Would you like to hold this?
May we? That is spectacular. Actually found on the road.
Yeah, down by the fish pond.
That's pretty cool. There might be some little pieces still.
Geoff and Steve's search for valuable pieces of the Buzzard Coulee meteorite has led them to the #1 eyewitness.
Came right from over about here and went down kind of an angle.
It went right over your head.
Oh, yeah.
That's something.
Don Shipowich saw the fireball explode, and one piece he collected is worth thousands of dollars more, not because of its size, but because of where it hit.
You had one hit one of your buildings?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I found one that came off the roof. They call it a hammerstone, they say.
That's right, you know the terminology. So where is that stone now?
At my mother's.
You gave it to her?
Yeah, I gave it to her.
Aren't you sweet?
Yeah.
Do you know how rare that is in the
No.
scheme of things? We have only a handful of recorded instances ever in North America of things being hit by meteorites. Have you been up on the ladder to check to see if there's an impact crater up there?
No,
Well, if there was, the piece of metal would be worth money, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Would it?
A hammerstone impact can be a real windfall. In 1992, this Chevy Malibu was worth maybe a couple of $100. But on the night of October 9th, a fireball streaks over Peekskill, New York, and a 27-pound meteorite punched a hole in the Malibu's trunk. The celestial fender bender turned the beater into a collectible, offered for sale at $100,000. The Meteorite Malibu is still making money today. It's been on tour around the world. Thousands of people line up to see the car whose trunk was caved in by a visitor from outer space. With just a couple of hours left in the day, the guys head to location number 3 near the frozen pond where Loretta found her $10,000 meteorite.
Even if it's hard going, we gotta put in a bit more time here.
Oh, that's more like it! Steve!
Don't tell me.
Oh, wow. That's more like it. Look at this beauty.
Wow.
Cash value on this would probably be 500.
Yeah, this is starting to add up.
Oh, yes.
The guys now have 8 meteorites worth thousands of dollars. With only an hour of daylight left, Steve has devised a plan for mechanized gridding. Scientifically speaking, it's trolling with magnets.
Once you run the truck, I'll ride on the tailgate. You keep warm for a little bit. I'm gonna look out the back. Hey, this might work. And then maybe we'll take turns. Stop! No. Okay, go. Stop. No. Go. Stop. Okay, go. You're not driving over, Annie.
What's he complaining about now?
Oh, stop. No. Okay, go.
I could walk faster than this.
I am convinced that had he driven over a meteorite, I would have seen it.
And I didn't drive over a meteorite, so it's my fault that he didn't find any using this harebrained scheme of his.
Go a little slower if you can. Yeah, well, not that slow.
The irritating part for me is I was driving and not getting to do anything except drive, and he was sitting on the back going, stop.
Stop, stop.
Oh, it's nothing. Okay, go, stop. And then I eventually just had a meltdown.
I really can't stand any more of this. This is ridiculous. I'm done.
It's a complete failure, so we won't do that again.
Hey, the whole trip was worth it just to watch you blow a gasket.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Frozen out of Buzzard Coulee, the guys take their 8 meteorites and head to the University of Alberta, a center for meteoritic studies in Edmonton, where scientists are eager to get their hands on them.
That's a pretty good haul.
Chris Hurd studies the individual chondrules inside the meteorites with a $1 million electron scanning microprobe.
This chondrule is only about twice the width of a human hair. They're out there in the solar system, the very beginning of the solar system. They're molten droplets. They each form crystals under different conditions. And then they all come together in this rock, right? And so you have this sampling, like this grab bag of the solar system, you know, that part of the solar system all put together.
It's a grab bag of these little tiny pieces from the early days of the solar system, beginning of the solar system. That's very poetic. It's beautiful.
Steve and Geoff know their rocks are H4 chondrites, but for a scientific look at them, they enlist the help of meteoriticist Aaron Walton.
These are beautiful pieces.
It's not a contest, but mine are better.
They're bigger.
You're still the champ in my book, Steve. Don't worry.
Steve would like to sell his specimens. Geoff is set on adding them to his collection. And Aaron wants to slice them up.
A meteoriticist perspective, the really interesting stuff is what's on the inside, because that's where the story's read.
When Aaron shines polarized light through thin slices of Buzzard Coulee meteorites, the chondrules light up like stained glass windows.
Have you discovered anything new and exciting?
I have, yeah. It's actually a very interesting sample. It gives us a complete picture from 4.56 billion years ago when the chondrules were forming to later where it came as a fireball.
Valuable meteorites, like those from Steve and Geoff, form another piece of a cosmic jigsaw puzzle that scientists in labs and universities continue to research. While the work continues on Buzzard Coulee,
John Duke here runs the Slowpoke Nuclear Reactor Lab. Why don't you give us a rundown on what we've been doing here with the Buzzard Coulee meteorite?
What we have here is what's called a gamma ray spectrometer. And if Chris opens up the lead cave, and the cave there is just to minimize background, what we're looking at is the radionuclides that are generated when the meteorite was in space. You can get an idea of the size of the meteorite when it hit the atmosphere.
We find meteorites and we often wonder, can we extrapolate how big the original mass was? And that's the work you're doing here, so it's fascinating for us.
We were able to get a piece of the Buzzard Coulee meteorite within a week of it falling to the ground. And we were able to put them in the detector, just count the radioactivity that's there, and pick up things that last only for a few weeks at most.
We'll remember that next time we recover a meteorite that's just fallen. We'll be straight over.
Yeah, that's right, that'd be great. In a way, you're trying to put a puzzle back together again. If you think about it, the ones that are closer to the surface of the rock in space will have more radiation because they're more exposed to cosmic radiation.
Something that was 2 meters in diameter, for example, the samples, if a sample came right from the center, would have very, very low level of activity compared with those on the edge of the meteorite.
Have you been able to determine how big this was from the data? Or are you still crunching those numbers?
We're still crunching the numbers. We're still working. It's still a work in progress. Sorry.
It's only $40,000.
Yeah, I know.
the guys ask Chris about a rare impact crater he's investigating.
Yeah, that's his thing. So you find really small ones and big ones right on the rim of the crater.
Right.
When he offers the chance to see it in person, Steve and Geoff can't pack fast enough.
He mentioned to us that it would be okay if we went to the Whitecourt Meteorite Crater. We were just stunned. So we go, well, okay, we're in Canada. We found some Buzzard Coulee meteorites. Let's go to Whitecourt.
The Whitecourt Impact Crater. It's protected by Canadian law. A chance to step inside it is enough to make any meteorite hunter's heart race.
It was just discovered a couple of years ago, and it was really big news in the meteorite world.
I have to teach this guy how to pack.
We were under the impression that it was totally off limits. We're pretty jazzed to be on our way to see this thing that we'd only heard about.
The guys make the 2-hour drive from Edmonton to Whitecourt. The crater itself is hidden deep in the forest, where you'll find only hunters, loggers, and grizzly bears. The best way to get there? ATV.
Let's get this unit activated.
Steve and Geoff are led by the scientist they think of as the gatekeeper. Randy Kaufman spearheads the Whitecourt crater research.
And he knows the crater better than anyone.
Oh yeah, watch out for bears!
Damn it. Oh, where's Geoff?
Hey guys! Hey Steve, I'm gonna race you to the crater!
Meteorites are one thing. Craters are the interaction between big meteorites and our planet. This is what they do to us. And there are only a handful of them that you can really revel in the experience of standing there and going, this is where it happened, and take it all in.
Whoa! A classic move, ladies and gentlemen. But notice how my metal detector never touched the ground. I'm replaceable. My F-75 is not. It's one of only 4 in existence. And my biggest worry is I'm going to damage the detector because this is a really sensitive piece of equipment.
The F-75 is Geoff and Steve's secret weapon. Lightweight and extremely sensitive, this high-tech metal detector will be their only shot at finding iron meteorites today. But for now, the detectors have to be left behind.
You cannot hunt in or near the crater. There is a $50,000 fine.
Geoff hasn't seen the crater yet, but he faces a challenge just getting up to the rim.
Oh, it's really slippery.
And they enforce it.
Can I be fined for damaging that tree? Woo!
And they should. There's nothing else like it in the whole world. It's absolutely amazing.
A find here could lead to the most fantastic discovery of their meteorite hunting careers.
How cool is this?
The Whitecourt crater, it's kind of the perfectly sized crater because it's big enough that you go, wow, a meteorite made this. It's big.
The Whitecourt crater, 120 feet across and 20 feet deep.
It's like a coffee cup.
It remained undiscovered until just 2 years ago.
There's a reason there's only a dozen craters in the world with the meteorites still there. Because the big ones totally disintegrate. You got this little range where it's big enough for a crater, but not quite big enough to destroy 100% of the rocks. That's the category we're in here.
We've got signs all over protected site, $50,000 fine.
But are we allowed to take ourselves down into the mouth of this fantastic feature? Look at him go! I've got no traction on these boots. They're so smooth.
Hey, my ballet training didn't really help with this.
We get to see this incredible, beautiful meteorite crater that's so very well preserved and actually walk down inside it and stand there and go, God, this is where it happened. This is where the meteorite landed.
I'm sorry, but I can't resist this. I can't resist this. I can't resist it. Wow. Right out of the sky, can you imagine?
We are right in the bullseye.
I'm usually not lost for words, and I just lay down on my back on the floor of the crater and just looked up. I just couldn't get over how great it was.
Wow, can you imagine?
This is exactly where it happened. Out of the sky.
It was an experience I will never forget.
And then to be there, to be standing in it, it was just incredible.
I can't even tell you how brilliant it was. It was such a great experience.
Come on, get up. So, how old is this thing?
No, we have the maximum age through carbon dating of about 1,100 years.
1,100 years? Okay.
Thick vegetation keeps the crater well hidden. In fact, you can't see the crater for the trees.
It's pretty dense. So right now, I mean, you've come at a great time to actually see the crater because you can actually see the crater.
For years, the local hunters and loggers knew there was a big hole in the woods. But it wasn't until 2007 when a couple of brothers went hunting with metal detectors.
And when they found some pieces of iron shrapnel around the crater, they were like, oh, this could be very important. And then they brought it to our attention.
Scientists first thought high-resolution satellite images could pinpoint the crater, but there was no sign of it. No one knew it, but they were searching the wrong maps. The maps they needed were in the hands of loggers. LiDAR, or light detection and ranging maps. Loggers use LiDAR to map forests and measure growth. Flying LiDAR over the forest and bouncing laser light off the ground creates 3D images.
And that's the scanner mirror. That's the webcam.
It's really used a lot in forestry because you can fly an aircraft with laser light bouncing from the aircraft to the ground. And you can map, where you want to log, but a certain amount of the laser light bounces off the ground surface.
Scientists deleted the data the loggers were interested in, the trees, and for the first time, revealed just the ground and a perfectly formed crater.
That's what really let us see Whitecourt Crater. We haven't done any measurements out in the field of the depth or the width or anything. We just used the LiDAR data.
The crater sits on land owned by the Canadian government, which acted quickly to create a protected zone, a box 200 meters by 200 meters. Taking any meteorites from here means jail time and a $50,000 fine. But just off the southeast corner is an area where no one has hunted before, and Randy is taking the guys right to it.
I'm not aware that anybody's really searched down there yet. So we can go over there and you can get the first shot.
Let's go.
Let's go now.
It would have been worth it just to come to see the crater and then get on the airplane and leave.
Definitely.
But we got to go hunt.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to discover new and valuable meteorites.
Come on, what's taking you so long?
I'm getting on my battle armor
to do battle with the snow that is hiding those meteorites from me.
A newly discovered impact crater, rare meteorites, virgin territory. It's a meteorite hunter's dream come true.
Woo, this is great!
We were so excited to see the crater, and then we were even more excited. Now we're gonna get to hunt, and of course you can't help think in the back of your mind, of course we're gonna find stuff, because they told us there's stuff to be found. And we're the Meteorite Men, of course we're gonna find some.
We get this great opportunity, and it's a long trek up on the ATVs. It was like spooky.
Oh, no!
Geoff,
What?
my detector broke.
No.
It scared me.
It broke at the worst possible time, because finally, after all of this, we can hunt, and then that second he goes, oh no, my detector's broken. It really was such a cruel thing, because there's nothing you can do. If you don't have a detector out there, you're out of luck.
Let's have a look. He's a one-man equipment wrecking machine. We could splint the detector's broken limb.
We've both kind of got this thing in our mind about how can we fix the problem with what we've got on hand.
And look, we got duct tape, we've got plastic bags. Look, plastic knives and forks from our lunch supplies. What about, I think if you put a knife down here.
Oh, yeah.
That might work.
That's actually a good idea.
We made a splint.
Does tape need to be kind of warm for the glue in it to work? Move your finger.
What would we do without tape?
If duct tape doesn't work, you just haven't used enough yet.
Wow, instant metal detector repair. I'm very impressed.
Well, let's see if it works.
If their field repair doesn't work, Steve will have to sit out this once-in-a-lifetime hunt.
Let's have a look.
Hey, might still work.
Cool.
And it worked. We just lucked out. And then we go, wow, now finally, after all of this, we can hunt.
Okay, so here it is.
We were allowed to hunt in very clearly defined areas.
And this is a corner post, so essentially you can hunt outside of that.
Okay. Oh.
So yeah, you're on the wrong side.
Oh, okay. Safe. In danger. Safe. In danger.
So you guys have some good hunting. I'm gonna go back and grab something to eat.
It's the last day of the expedition, and there are only a few hours of daylight left. After dark in these woods, the hunters become the hunted.
May the best man win.
May the best Meteorite Man win.
The white quart meteorites the guys are hunting for are iron shrapnel. Like bits of a bomb casing, the valuable pieces were torn from the meteorite that blasted the crater in the Canadian forest.
The impacting body shattered into thousands of fragments. That takes a lot of energy to destroy a piece of iron nickel that may have been the size of a desk or a refrigerator.
This detector's so sensitive, it keeps picking up my boot.
We spent a lot of time hunting, and for a long time we didn't find anything.
This is insane. Try to hunt for meteorites in the snow.
Hey, I got a target. Oh, that sounds promising. Steve, I got a target. I think we better dig that one. 10 and 11. I like that sound, don't you? I want to get your expert pinpointing skills to work on this guy.
It's still in there.
Oh, good.
Do you need a shovel?
Oh, come on. It's a freaking washer. Why would there be a washer out here in the middle of nowhere? That sucks. It's extremely irritating and frustrating and disappointing. Thanks for nothing.
Called me all the way over
I am
here
so
for
sorry
a
to interrupt your nap time. And then you start going, well, are there actually any meteorites out here, or is it just junk? Wow. The white quart washer. It's a horrible experience. I don't recommend it.
I work up a hunger, and I need some protein. He works up a hunger and wants to chew on some grass.
I'm taking a break. It's lunchtime for civilized people.
Me too.
What are you eating?
I don't know.
Ground up animal parts is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
All the worst bits.
Mm-hmm. What are you eating?
I'm eating a wonderful organic apple. No added chemicals and no animal parts. What do you think?
I like them covered in caramel. Whatever, you know, I mean, if that's what it takes to float his boat and get him going, that's fine. I just think it's kind of funny.
Winter's coming, it's freezing cold. There's gonna be a blizzard any day and this will be under snow for the next 6 months. So it's do or die today. We just gotta find something.
Got something over here.
That was amazing timing. Well, that sounds nice and loud.
It does.
White quartz meteorites are extremely rare.
Oh man, that's sounding really good.
Less than 40 pounds have ever been recovered.
Try it again.
Not a single white quartz meteorite has ever made it to market.
Ooh.
The first one could start a record-setting bidding war.
Okay, that should make it a little easier for you. Look at me moving an entire
You would
tree.
make a great lumberjack.
Thanks. I just don't really like the plaid shirts. It's not really my style. Are you kidding me? This is a shoe. What is a fossilized human shoe doing out here? Look, it's got a horseshoe on the bottom of the heel. No wonder you got a big signal from it. Well, that was a big disappointment. Crazy shoes. That sounds good. I got a target.
Don't tell me it's the other shoe, Soul.
My detector really went off. I got a fantastic signal. I thought that's probably another boot with a horseshoe nailed to it. Want to test it for me? This meteorite hunting work is for the birds.
Oh.
Ah! Holy cow! That is definitely a meteorite. Oh my God!
Wow! Way to go! It's my turn.
It's my turn to hold it. Wow! What a cool shape. Look at that. It's a white quartz crater iron meteorite. Suddenly I feel a whole lot better. Isn't it funny the way that works?
Well done.
Thank you.
Now it's my turn. Did you bring lunch with you?
I just brought some tea to celebrate. I thought a little cup of tea in the field after finding a white quartz crater iron meteorite would be appropriate. And you'll be pleased to know that it's not that awful tea that you drink. It's English breakfast. It's just the way things are done, Steve. Cheers. Oh, that smells so good. Ah. Ah, yes. That totally made my day.
Geoff is a bona fide meteorite collector. Steve is in it for the money. And just after Geoff's find, Steve gets his first hit.
Geoff! 50 feet away, maybe. Wait. No. And I went, wait. That was nice. I was happy for him, but I hadn't found anything yet. So it sent me off. Come on. Should be sticking to a magnet. There. Geoff! I got one! And I found my little 6-grammer. Check it out! Geoff! Woohoo! I traipsed up the hill and round the corner, showed it to Geoff. Check it out!
What are you doing?
It's a little guy.
You found one already?
Yeah.
We just found one. Oh, wow. Oh, that is such a shrapnel fragment.
We're like little kids. We still get so excited about this.
It's not as big as yours, but it's real.
Wow, it is definitely real.
Yay, 1 for 1. We found 2 pieces, yeah. Okay, I got the GPSs.
Yeah. That was so great. I haven't even finished marking the GPS on my find, and he just runs up over the hill like a bull. Look, I found one. Blah! I gotta go mark the GPS. Blah! He's so crazy.
These are $1,000 pieces we're finding. This is like cool.
Just when the hunt starts to really pay off, the sun begins to set. They make one last push.
What you got there?
I don't know. this rock comes out on my magnet.
What?
It is shrapnel. I mean, it came from the piece. It's definitely a meteorite.
That's totally different.
It is.
This find doesn't look like the sharp-edged shrapnel they expect. Steve and Geoff are baffled.
Look how prepared you are. You got little blue towels for them to keep them warm. It's got a little bit of shrapnel-like markings there on that side, but this is so rounded.
My theory is that it was a piece of the outside of the meteorite that did get melted a little bit, was rounded. It got ripped off.
That's amazing.
Find number 3 weighs in at 150 grams and could fetch $20 a gram. That puts a $3,000 price tag on it, if they can get an export permit.
According to what's been found here, it's a big one. It's in the top 5% or so.
Fantastic. Good one, good one.
Wow, that's just really cool.
Time is running out, and they have to clear out of the site.
Hey, Steve. Oh, that sounds really good.
Ah! What is that?
Well, we've moved it.
There.
Holy cow. That's a meteorite. Wow. That is amazing.
It's like a claw.
That is so torn up.
That's actually one of the larger pieces that's been found at the crater. We ended up significantly increasing the total known weight of all of the pieces that have been found. It was astonishing. At $20 a gram, you're looking at a $5,000 meteorite that just came out of the ground. That's that big. But we're not allowed to take it out of the country without an export permit. We can't just put them in the bag and take them home.
The guys race them back to the University of Alberta to show Dr. Chris Hurd.
This was perhaps the most exciting one.
Oh, look at that. Wow. See, you can really, look at how sharp those edges are. You can really see how shrapnel-like it is, like the meteorite just ripped itself apart, and you've pulled these pieces that are of the metal apart. It's really like what bomb shrapnel looks like.
Yeah.
Indeed.
At the end of the day, they recovered 4 meteorites worth a total of about $10,000, if Geoff decides to sell some.
Sometimes you find something that's just too nice to sell. It goes into the collection. That's fine.
It was so taxing. I can't wait to sell them.